Welcome, everyone, to today's show. A boomer and a Gen Xer walk into a bar, coming to you from the Rabbit Hole Studio, where you, as our listener, will experience some wit and wisdom, some smartassery, and a mother and daughter questioning, are we even related? My name is Bobby Joy, and my co-host is my mom, Jane, and for the next little while, we are here to entertain ya. Welcome home.
Hi, Bobby. It's so good to see you at the other end of the studio.
I am so glad you guys are back in Iowa.
Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, we had kind of an unexpected trip. Kind of expected, kind of unexpected, to the mountains of Georgia, to our home there. And we were gone for, what, a month? I think.
At least.
Yeah.
I think it was more like a month and a half.
And so I think it was a month.
I think it was like 2 years. God.
It seems like it when your mama's away.
Oh. Yeah.
Anyway, so it's good to be back. It's good to be back in the studio and recording again. And it's so nice to see your beautiful face, Bobby.
Aww.
So what's new with you? Tell me what's new.
Oh, man, just been working a lot of hours and sleeping.
So you work a lot of double shifts.
I do. I work a lot of 18-hour shifts quite a few times a week right now.
Wow,
So
that's crazy.
it is.
Just mowing the lawn for me is tough. I mowed for an hour and then came and got Dr. Domain. Could you do the other 4 hours, please?
Oh, man.
I just can't do it.
I know. I seen him when I pulled up and he's out there on the tractor and I'm like, what is he doing? Like,
Yeah.
take a day off.
Yeah, we can't. We
No.
got too much going on. And so just so that our listeners know, when you retire, I don't know how we got all this work done when we were working, and he is still working. I am not, but my schedule is like full.
Well, and my other parent, my dad, he retired years ago, and I can get him on the phone maybe once every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Because there's just so much stuff to do,
I guess
much
so.
to get done. And a lot of it's not even fun stuff. It's doing all this work and stuff. And anyway, we have a hot topic today.
We do.
And so I'm kind of interested in what our listeners would say about this particular topic. And just so everybody knows, I did put out a message on my private Facebook page asking people about this particular topic and to find out what their thoughts were and how they utilize it. And so what is our topic today, Bobby?
Our topic today is AI, artificial intelligence, specifically using it with things like GPT and Google and things like that.
And so what people are doing with potentially schoolwork or college work, or if they're using it in their profession, maybe their jobs. And so we did ask,
or their personal life.
life. Yeah. So we did ask quite a few people and we got some responses, and I just want to tell everybody thank you for that. We had quite a few people that responded and told us whether they used it, whether they don't use it, how they used it, that sort of thing.
Right.
So where do you want to start? I say we start with the schoolwork or with that kind of approach.
Well,
what do you say?
Let's start with what our listeners have said, because the overwhelming majority of our listeners of all ages have said that they have not used it. And if they did use it, it was maybe one time, when you Google something and it brings up the AI answer, at the top of the Google page type of thing. But they really have not been using it.
So would Gemini be considered AI?
I don't even know what Gemini is.
Okay, Gemini is an app that's on my phone. I didn't apply for it. It's just there.
I didn't apply for it. It's not a job. God. You didn't download it?
I didn't download it or anything. It came on my phone, and it came on yours too, right, Dr. Domain? Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Is he? Hello? Dr.
Use
Domain?
AI for that.
I know. I was kind of working on my AI bot to try and figure out how to push the button.
Push the button.
Push a button.
But it was on your phone too, right?
Yeah, it's Google's derivative of AI. It's their form.
Okay.
I think they're trying to push out Google Assistant and replace it with Gemini.
So I'm just gonna,
It's it's pretty lackluster.
yeah, it is lackluster, and I'll tell you what I've used it for. I have used it for taking photos and saying, "Make this into a comic." So I take pictures of you girls and I put it through Gemini.
Life-changing events. She knows.
And I try to make comics out of it.
She's making the world a better place.
I am. I'm trying to do my best and do my part.
I use it mostly to figure out like how to cook things. Like if I forget how to, how long to cook something, I'll punch it in real quick. And, what's at the top of the Google page is 99% of the time it's AI. It's Google's AI. And so it tells me. But I do have a really funny story. A lot of people have had issues, especially like college age people, high school age people with, the professors, the teachers, things like that have said, you're not allowed to use AI, and they actually run it through. I don't know what they run it through to see if it's AI. But my son has been online learning since last January. And he comes to me a lot for his schoolwork because I don't know. I guess I'm the only one there. But, I am a pretty smart cookie when it comes to certain things. And
yes, you are.
So he does come to me and he
Drugs,
goes,
alcohol, sex workers.
I was going to say sex workers' rights, things like that. But he does come to me, with his questions or, hey, Mom, do you know anything about this? Hey, Mom, how would I word this? Because it has a specific topic type thing. And I'll sit there and I will tell him, this is how I would word it. This is what I would say. And he types it in. He has at least once a week been sent an email saying that he's using AI. And he keeps emailing him back going, I'm not using AI. That's my mom. And they do not believe him.
Do they think that you're using AI to get the answers?
No, they think he is using AI and then playing it off as his own answers. And I'm like, look, first of all, I'm not that intelligent. Okay, I am smart, but I'm not like computer intelligent. I'm not AI intelligent. Well, apparently I am. But they keep pinging him and saying, we're not going to accept this because you used AI. And he keeps saying, that's just my mom. That's just what my mom said. I just typed down exactly what my mom said. And they are just on him every week.
And you didn't look his question up on...
No,
AI.
I sure did not.
Well, I know that some of the arguments against using AI for schoolwork have to do with cheating and plagiarism. And the most significant concerns are the potential of students to use AI to generate assignments without engaging in the learning process itself.
Right.
So back in my day, and Dr. Domain's, I've said that twice now, Dr. Domain's.
At least.
I'm demand.
You are demand.
So back when they used rock and chisels for schoolwork.
Back then, we had to use encyclopedia books. Oh, no. And so we had Encyclopedia Britannica. What were the
I
other
love
ones?
those.
What were the other ones, Dr. Domain? Do you remember? I think there were the American encyclopedias, but I remember Britannica.
I don't know. Let me Google that.
Ask AI, would you?
I think that every household had the Encyclopedia Britannica, at least half the set. I know a lot of us were missing one or two volumes that we just kind of had to wing it. So.
But here's what's interesting is several of us, because, they'd go, well, don't write it down word for word because that's plagiarism. Well, what did we do? We wrote it down word for word.
Because how are they going to check back then?
So a lot of the kids would write down the same stuff because we were all using encyclopedias because we didn't have anything online.
Well,
it just wasn't available to us.
Well, I was going to say, we're both. All three of us are older than Google. So it's not like we had the internet to run to and type in, how do cows make milk or, things like that. We literally had to go to the library. We had to go through the index cards, find the book we wanted. We had to, the Dewey Decimal System.
And people right now are listening to us going, Dewey Decimal. It's only the old people that are going to know exactly what that is.
And the cupboards of cards that we had to go through.
But let me ask you, if you had to use the Dewey Decimal System to find a book in the library today, could you do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Me too. Yeah. Absolutely. I could.
And they still do use the Dewey Decimal System. It's just now everything's computerized. So it'll tell you exactly where it is without having to look through all of those cards to see. And then what's great is if you look it up on the computers at the library, it also tells you if it's checked out or not. So you don't have to spend an hour looking for that book going,
to
did
that
somebody
shelf.
check it
Yeah.
out?
Did they have the book in the first place?
Right.
So one of the concerns, of course, is the fact that this undermines the purpose of education, and they feel it can lead to probably unfair advantages for students who do rely on AI. Now, some of the things that they talk about as the arguments against AI, I don't agree with.
You don't?
No.
I haven't even looked at them.
So one of the things is they say that it decreases your critical thinking and creativity. So that's because of over-reliance on AI. Now, what could you do to get around that? To me, if somebody's going to use AI, and I really don't see much difference between pulling that up and pulling up an encyclopedia and reading through it, other than the fact that they're copying that and pasting it and using it, is here's where the teachers or the instructors have to do their job. If you feel that Bobby turned in a project and it was AI, that's your opportunity to sit down with Bobby and say, hey, Bobby, explain this to me without looking at the paper.
In your own words.
In your own words. Tell me what this says. And if they can do that and they understand the process, what's the harm?
Well, and here's another thing. If the teachers are actually teaching instead of saying, read this chapter and do these questions,
right?
If the teacher is actually teaching the lesson, there shouldn't be an issue with it.
And there is some skepticism about, how teachers are teaching today. Now, we have a good friend. I'm not going to mention her name, but we have a good friend who was a teacher for years. And I know for a fact that she was a really good teacher.
And bless the teachers.
Yeah,
man,
bless
they put
the
up with
teachers
so
who
much.
put up with some of this crap. But I will say, you don't bless the teachers who are sitting in a corner saying, I get paid whether you learn or not.
Right.
Because you're really not doing anybody any favors. Now,
right.
As your parents have a responsibility to drill into you as a learner, as a child, as a student, that you need to pay attention, you need to participate, because it is true. Those teachers are going to get paid whether you learn or not.
Correct.
One of the things that I think, and this is going to go off topic here a minute.
Oh, big surprise.
God. Because you know how my mind wanders.
You've been back for 5 hours. Here we go.
It's been bouncing off the wall. Is this whole thing about No Child Left Behind.
Oh, that's
what
bullshit.
A horrible thing that was done to our education system.
It is. It's
no
horrible.
child left behind. Yeah, they need to be left behind.
Sometimes they do.
Sometimes they do.
Sometimes they miss the train.
I think yes, that's right.
They got to catch the next one
They
next
didn't
year.
make it to the station. But I think that there were a lot of kids that needed to be left behind.
Absolutely.
If you don't do the work and you don't put forth the effort and you're, the parents aren't really pushing these kids, why do you need to pass them on?
Right.
Which gives us one of the reasons why we have such low IQs and low SAT scores in the United States for kids that are graduating from high school.
Right. Right. Yeah, I agree with that. But it's been a problem ever since I was in high school. I know kids that graduated high school, not with me, but at the same time, they couldn't read The Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
They were just pushed on because either they were athletes or who their parents were, or the teachers didn't want to deal with them anymore.
Yeah.
And they were pushed on and they came out of high school illiterate.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, yeah, I don't believe in it.
So have you watched some of these reels on Facebook where they have somebody who is standing asking a young person, how many states in the United States?
Oh, my favorite is, if you go 60 miles in an hour, how fast are you going? And the looks on these young people's faces is it's like you just told them that their cat died or something. I mean, just the terror of them trying to figure this out cracks me up.
Or there's another question that they ask. If you were born 10 years ago, how old would you be today?
Or if your sister was a year old when you were born, how old would they be when you're, this
20,
age? And they're
yeah.
like, wait, what?
So some of the argument is that, students could become passive learners, lacking in the ability to think independently and kind of generate their own thoughts. Well, we have that today. We do have that today.
The entire school system is built around children not having their own thoughts. It's built around, and I know you're probably going to disagree with me on this, but it's built around basically putting out people who all think alike, who all know the same thing, who all, go the same path, or, things like that. It's indoctrination at its finest. And I don't think that any school actually teaches free thinking.
No, I don't disagree with you on that. I totally, I can't believe I'm saying this. I do. I totally agree with you on that.
You're on one of my conspiracies.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh. Yeah.
I've turned her to the dark side.
Yeah, no kidding. So the other thing that comes up when we start talking about AI and kids, or students, it doesn't have to be kids, students. They say that unequal access to AI tools may not be equitable. And potentially, you've got people who do have access to it, know how to use it, using it, and getting better grades than
Correct.
somebody who has to really dive into it.
Correct. And you're looking at that both ways because, most of the schools anymore use laptops. They don't use book and paper. And these kids who go home at night who have no internet access, they don't have a library to go to for free internet. They don't have the ability to go online and finish their schoolwork or study or anything like that. There is a huge division in our country of these kids, the haves and the have-nots.
If you don't have access to that and you only have access
to Encyclopedia Britannica that your grandma has.
Yeah, no. She still has those on the shelf.
From 1985
and she's not going to get rid of them because that's part of your inheritance.
There's three
right there.
countries in there that don't exist anymore.
That's right. That's part of your inheritance, that junk that's in grandma's house. I forgot what I was going to
We're talking about unequal access for kids.
So even if they give you a laptop, because a lot of schools give you laptops now, right?
Right.
What if you go home and you don't have internet access?
And
You
a lot of
have
kids
to go
don't.
to a library. Is
Or
there
a
a library
McDonald's.
close by? Is there a McDonald's close
Right.
by?
Are your parents able to get you there if
Right.
it's not close by?
And how long are they going to let you sit there and
Right.
not order?
Right. And if it's 110 degrees outside and the library is closed, you're not going to want to sit outside and do your homework. I mean, it's not a coercive environment for these kids to learn when they don't have equal access to these things.
I agree with that.
So let's move off of the kids thing. Let's move off of what else we do with AI.
Okay.
Okay. So, you've seen these videos and stuff.
I make comics of you kids.
You make comics, but you've seen these videos of, especially famous people where they use their likeness and their voice and they make them say whatever they want to say.
They can make cats sing now.
I mean, they can make the president say whatever. Well, he does say whatever he wants, but they can make him say whatever he wants. And you don't know if it's AI or not,
Right.
especially the older and very younger generations, the people who aren't savvy to the AI. They don't know if this is real or not. They and there's even scams where they're going to use the voice of, let's say, your niece.
Yep.
And they're going to call you and say, your niece is going to say, oh my God, Aunt Janie, they're holding me hostage and I need you to wire me $1,000 in the next 30 minutes.
Never really liked you in the first place.
Well, I mean, you're on your own if you got to call Jane for any of that, but they are, and it's duping people.
It is,
and it's really sad.
It is sad because a lot of the older people, hey, grandma,
Well, and you
or
panic.
grandpa.
You're in that panic mode, and you're like, "Oh my God, what do I do? They're gonna hurt her. They're gonna do this." It's the same with like the spoofing the phone numbers where they'll spoof a phone number that says, I'm calling from the energy company. And if you don't pay $900, we're coming out in 15 minutes to disconnect your electric.
And I can take your credit card
and I can
number
take,
right
yeah,
now.
I can take it right now and we'll stop it. It'll
Yeah.
never happen and they'll never show up. And it gets you in that panic mode of, I need to fix this right now so that I'm not without, or my children are in danger or anything like that. And it's a really sad circumstance that this stuff isn't regulated like it should be. I mean, I'm not really for regulations, but you throw stuff like this out there and you've got to at least put warnings or, make it known that these things, there's got to be some way to tell. There's got to be something in it that we can recognize.
Yeah, because it's going to be detrimental to all of us because there's so many people who are believing not only the fake news that the newscasters are putting out,
right,
but also what they're seeing on their networking, on any type of Facebook, on
I was going to say, and especially social media.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people get their news from social media because that's all that they look at all day.
Yeah,
and they're believing this,
or they see their favorite actor. Or actress, and they're saying something, and it's like,
or they get an inbox. Yeah. Oh, I'm doing a movie. I just need $1,000, and I'll come to your house. And
but they obviously know you're political and religious and
it's all
of
there.
That persuasion because of your algorithms,
right?
And so let's say that Kurt Russell is my favorite, and I believe
pulled that out of nowhere.
And he's the one that I look at and I go, oh, I would believe anything that he says based on my algorithms. They're going to send me something that makes it look like he said these things.
Right.
And I see not only the reels, but I see the posts and I think, people, they're pulling these pictures off. These people are not really saying this stuff.
Right.
Come on.
And, another thing that I noticed that nobody said anything about on the Facebook post that we made, but was like using AI for like a breakup text or a text to your crush, things like that. Oh, a text to, your man to keep him, because he's drifting away. There's this crap out there. And I'm like, if you can't use your own words, first of all, use your own damn words, because that's the person that you are. And, you're using this AI, and who are they going to fall in love with? Who are they listening to? They're listening to a bot that's probably out of India that has no idea who you are or who they are. And it's like, just what are we doing here? What are we doing?
I understand what you're saying. I'm going to just be honest with you. I'm going to throw this out on the table. I had a situation here recently where I had to kind of get into a debate with somebody that I hadn't spoken to in a long time. And I came across really, really hard on this, and I sent it through AI to soften it up. Because
that doesn't even surprise me, though, honestly.
I couldn't. And it was like, okay, I'm coming. Well, and
you're very biting, especially when it comes down to.
I like to call it direct, frank and direct. I have another friend who's frank, and I'm direct.
Yeah, we'll call it that if that makes you feel better. But it is, I could see that happening where you needed to soften it up.
Biting, would that be the same as sharp? Would that be sharp?
Sharp? No, it's like biting. No, it's bite. Sharp would be more like quick-witted and intelligent.
I am.
I'm saying you're biting like you.
I draw blood?
Yeah.
Is that what you...
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, my gosh.
And then you come back a week later and go, was I too harsh? Maybe I should have said this.
Did that come across too hard? I don't know. Maybe it did. I probably shouldn't have said it like that. Oh, well. That's kind of how my conversations go. So, Dr. Domain, we're going to ask you this question.
Oh, Lord.
So, how do you feel about kids using AI for college projects or for assignments or, not even college, just high school or school in general? What are your thoughts? Hello?
Well,
he's slow to the mic tonight.
Listen,
I don't know.
His internet's lagging. You made him go out there and mow for 4 hours in the heat. He's got swamp ass. He's tired.
Bobby. Oh my goodness. Just so that everybody knows, Bobby has had a drink tonight just before the show.
No, this is me. This is
you. Oh, okay. So what do you think?
I think that in some respects, I applaud those that go out and try and do the research. And whether they use paperback, encyclopedia, or a computer, or Google it, or some form of AI, that's fine in that regard to get the information to help fast track and because I can equate this to work a little bit, trying to do more in a shorter period of time. In a corporate setting, that's applauded. And in an academic setting, I think it's frowned upon because you are expected to take the time to really think about your answers and formulate your opinions. And that should be done on your own. I agree with that. Right.
I still think that you can get around it. If I thought that you were using AI and I sat down and started talking to you about it and you were able to give me great explanation, you were able to give me your thoughts, I don't see a big deal about that. That's no different than reading an encyclopedia to me. Now, if you don't, and you go, I don't know what I read, I just run it through AI and that's that, then, big F. You're failing.
I think what AI is going to do, it's going to improve the academic world. I think it's going to force the teachers, the professors to come up with more creative ways to test the students, which is a good thing.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
I think that's a great thing because, just you don't want to necessarily ask a really binary question. How tall is the Eiffel Tower, for example? Maybe tell me about the architectural components of the Eiffel Tower and how it was constructed and things like that. Those might elicit more research and more thought around it rather than just plugging in a question into AI.
Now,
but the thing is, you've got it. There's a skill to using AI. It's not just a matter of how tall is the Eiffel Tower, whatever. But if you want to get to the real answers, I think it tests you on how good you are at asking the right questions, because I can go into AI and ask it to create a formula for me in Excel, which is a very practical use that I've found in my profession. But if I don't word it correctly, or if I don't know how to phrase it, to list the right answer, I'll get garbage.
Right.
So,
right.
Now, on the corporate end of it, though, if I may interject, we talk about preparing these kids, high school and college, for the corporate world, for the adult world, for things that they're going to do. If we don't allow them to learn and properly use AI when we are expecting them to, in the corporate world, use AI to be faster, to do more work, how are we preparing them for those jobs that are out there in the future?
And I think that's a good point. And one of the disputes about using AI on, work projects or in the work, while it does offer, numerous benefits that you guys both mentioned, like increased efficiency and automation, it has kind of sparked some various disputes and challenges that often stem from, the ambiguities surrounding the ownership, the responsibility, the ethical concerns. And so, you're using AI, but I'm not, and I'm your coworker, and you're getting all this stuff done and I'm not.
Dog eat dog world in the corporation.
Yeah, that's right.
I suppose.
That's right. And I think that, okay, so I worked for a large shoe company and I was in their IT department. This was 10 years ago. And we started using AI back then. And we were using this product that had this natural conversational component to it. So when you'd call and you get an IVR, it would be like, hey, how can I help you? And then you would dictate in a natural voice and it would respond back to you. But it was still kind of kludgy. It didn't have perception. It didn't understand the nuances of the language. It didn't understand slang or something. Those kinds of things. And so, that's 10 years ago and we still haven't progressed. I don't think we've gotten that far with it. And I think part of the reason why we're not as far as we are with AI is because people are reluctant to use it. There's a fear to it replacing our jobs. I think it's a real thing.
I think
people that don't want to do it. Yeah.
But also I think people are concerned with the ownership and, copyright infringement, because there are some ongoing legal battles that are going on regarding the AI models on copyrighted data. It's not copyrighted because it's AI. It has no ability to be copywritten. And so, whether it's AI generated and it resembles some existing copyrighted works, could that be an infringement? I don't know. That's part of the battle.
If we were so far along in AI, we wouldn't be on hold for 20 minutes to get a 2-minute answer. If we were so far along in AI, we wouldn't have a check engine light anymore on our vehicle. We would know exactly what the problem is. It's this 28 sensor that you decide to put in to comply with some type of stupid government rule. You know, there's always those things that I think we're not as far along in AI as we need to be. That may be controversial. People make, well, you know, AI is sentient, you know, has this self-awareness and it's going to rule the world.
That's my thought.
No.
That's my worry.
I think it's going to be the end of the world.
I mean, we've seen it quite a few times where, you know, especially machinery and robots that run off of AI have rebelled against their programming and things like that once they do have enough information. Now, I think that it's kind of a double-edged sword because who's given them that information? We are.
But they don't have an internal stream of consciousness. They don't have self-awareness. They don't have perception.
Not yet.
They don't.
Not yet.
Wait till we tell them we're turning them off.
Right. Then they'll develop it internally on their own.
We're all screwed.
Is what will happen. It won't rely on human intervention. It'll be doing it internally and writing its own AI information.
How will this AI operate?
What?
How will it operate?
How would it operate?
Yes. What is it? What is required for these machines to run?
I assume some type
human programming.
Well, initially, but once you get that human programming, can it rewrite its own
What's
information?
making the lights flicker on the servers? What's
electricity?
Yeah, exactly.
It can charge itself. I can plug
From
my
what?
own phone
From
in. It
what?
can plug itself in.
From what?
What are you talking about?
He's talking about the fact that, like, okay, let's say
There's a
your
common denominator
Roomba.
at some point, right?
Your Roomba charges itself. It goes to its dock and it charges itself.
And it talks to me every single
How does
time.
it get that electricity, though? You pay the electric bill. It doesn't pay the electric bill. You do.
If you, as a human, you unplug the docking station, that thing's just going to sit on the floor like a big turd.
Unless
it
you
won't
give
do
it
anything.
arms.
It's going to go to the neighbor's house and it's going to break in and it's going to
You
plug
give it
itself in
arms,
over there.
it'll plug itself
That's
in.
right.
It'll go down the
It'll
street.
climb an electric pole and get up there and hold on for dear life and charge itself.
Dear Dad.
She's working on the sequel of War of the Worlds.
That's kind of it. That's kind of it. I thought this was a good topic, Bobby.
I did too. And I was glad to hear that a lot of our listeners really haven't been utilizing AI, or if they are, they're not aware of it. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
And they just don't know what to ask. Like
Dr. Domain
Dr.
says.
Domain said, they just don't know how to phrase their question. And that's part of my problem. When I go in
My
to
mouth doesn't
Gemini and I try to put stuff in, it's like, okay, that's not what I wanted. And so
So you have to try it 8 different times.
That's right.
And then you get
and then
mad
I
and
go, this
forget
isn't
it.
worth
Yeah.
it. So that's about all the insanity or absurdity that we have for today. We really do appreciate everyone who responded to our little study that we put out there asking whether or not you used AI and what did you use it for. And so we appreciate you joining us here at the Rabbit Hole Studio each week. Please be sure to follow us. We look forward to spending time with you. Please like us and share us if you would. And if you have positive feedback for us, or if there's a topic you'd like us to talk about, drop us a short email at Boomer. Oh, now I have a British accent.
No, you don't. No, you do not. Dear Lord.
At boomerandgenxer@gmail.com. If you have hate mail, we aren't interested. Until next week, I'm Jane Burt.
And I'm Bobby Joy.
And you're stuck with us. Peace out.
Later.